want to stay where you live at in your community, like my friend's grandson, you got to go outside the box. But if people
Work
are
within the
hiring,
means. I mean, if people can't commute, they can't commute.
But and also another thing, if you live in a town like Taylorville or Champaign or Decatur, whatever, Jacksonville, whatever, you live in that community and you have friends that drive, let's say you don't drive or whatever, that a lot of places will work with you. You need a ride to work, okay, we'll put you on this shift. Those Daryl, he just lives a half mile from your house, you're on the same shift, work something out, and both of you can come to work. The people work with you. People will run this out, and people can sit there on the other side of this phone and say, "Oh, you can sit there and say I'm lying or bullshitting or whatever." No, I'm not. And another thing is, it ain't my fault that people don't want to work with other people. You know what I mean? Like on that subject, doing that.
I think most people here that watch this channel right there probably nod their head going, "You're absolutely right." I think most of our viewers are right there with us. Understand where we're coming from?
Everybody's not as fortunate as everybody. But let me tell you, if you're wanting a job, let's say, come on, do something.
You want it bad enough, you'll go to work.
But you can't live with mommy and daddy or grandparents forever. You know what I'm saying? It's just like.
And going back to what Brother was saying with the whole, if you go into a job and you don't like it, then you can do something else. Yes, you can, but here's the kicker. If you're going to find something else, put in 2 weeks and work out those last 2 weeks. Just don't put in 2 weeks and say, I'm done, and then quit. Because I tell you right now, that's going to look really bad. That will get back to the next person that's going to try and hire you, and they're going to hear that you didn't work out those last 2 weeks. And then that word of mouth is going to get passed along and passed along and passed along.
I have friends that work at Dollar Generals. I've got a few of them that it's the head person at Waverly and at New Berlin. They said people want to come in and work. And he was one to hire them because they need workers. They need people to work. But they came in with an application with no work history. Well, I'm telling you this now, a lot of it's the government's fault. But they were getting unemployment way too long, what they did, and they came in and just had their name, their address, where they last worked at, and the phone number. They hadn't worked in a year and a half, 2 years. They had no work experience in that time. He's like, I want to hire him, and I can train him, whatever. But he said, I'm not going to take that risk for this company and risk my job to hire him. And then 3 days later, they quit. Now, why? He's not going to put, because the head manager, Brow, he's like, I'm not putting my job at risk. And, he does that for a lot of people, but he's like, in this situation, I'm going to lose my job. If I have 5 people that quit on me in 2 months, and whatever, I'm going to get written up or reprimanded. He said, and I could lose my job with this company. A lot of them are going to stick their necks out, but then also they got to look at the repercussions of that in the long run.
And it's not just them themselves. That puts a lot of stress on the workforce, and by that I mean the employee's already working. When you quit your job, just up and fucking quit, and all of a sudden the person that just worked the next day or the other person that probably was going to have a day off, now they got to come in and cover that shift that you just fucking up and left.
And also, I'm going to tell you, like Dollar General and J.C. Penney and some others, the managers, the assistant managers, the head managers, supervisors, and the managers, and the higher ups don't work a lot of holidays because they don't get the time and a half. Now, let's say I'm a manager of, Pizza Hut. I'm not going to work on the 4th of July. I love working. But, let's say he's my regular employee. He's not management. He'll get time and a half. I won't.
Right.
So a lot of work, and a lot of the managers put a lot of hours in. The management team, if there's 15 of them, they put a lot of work in. And they got 3 or 4 people that are not management that work at the store. They'll get the time and a half with the managers' people. They work their ass off. They get to where they're at. But they're not recognized through that company to get time and a half. But he, like him or her or whatever is.
And that's most of them. But I tell you what, though,
I know, but I'm just saying.
I know, but I gotta give a shout to my boss. I won't say her name or nothing.
I'm not talking bad about your boss.
Oh no, you're not. I just gotta give a shout to her because damn, it's one of the few bosses I've had. There's only 3. She's one of the 3 that actually will come in on a holiday or whatever and still continue working. I mean, people, the bosses like that, I gotta give shout. I gotta give shout out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, every situation is different, like in life.
But you're right. There's a majority of them. They're like, fuck that. No.
Yeah, yeah. Like a friend of mine, she retired from a nursing home here in town, and great lady. She volunteered to work on time and that. Like I said, every work position where you work at's different. We established that, of course, but I'm going to keep saying it. But anyway, she loved working holidays. Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, you name it. She loved working it. Because when, of course, she worked that, she gets double time, and the other employees would get time and a half. But she worked up to that. But, like, no matter if you just started and you've been working there a year, where she worked at, they would get time and a half. But, you know, like I said, they were younger and they had kids or whatever, so shit. But she would get, she goes, I got plans with my family, but you know what? They want to pay me double time. She's coming in to work. She works her 8 or 12-hour shift, whatever that week is. She's working it. You need to take advantage of that, because if a lot of people say, oh, that's another 4 hours or 2 hours. And then if you don't do it, then you're like, well, shit, I'm short to pay this bill or to go do what I want to do. You need to do it.
And what bro's talking about there, I actually have a video that you guys go watch. It's called Work Ethic 101. Go check that out. I think I did really good on that. I think I hit a lot of really good fucking points on that.
He got a lot of praise for it.
Sick work ethic. That's number 1. But number 2, I mean, I can't fault people doing this, is looking at what a job offers. And when you go into looking at a job, what to you would be the 3 points you want to look at? Would it be
well, like with me, mine would be farming and stuff. So everybody's different. I mean, so.
Well, if you're looking at Joe Schmo going into like retail, what would be some perks that you want to look at? Well, as far as that job be concerned,
I could be off base, but like if somebody come in for retail, they come in and I would. One point is, even though I'm offering you these are the hours you can, these are the only hours I can offer you. But if somebody can't make it in, would you be willing to pick up extra hours, and can I count on you? You know what I mean?
Right, but I'm not talking from the hiring perspective. I'm talking about as someone going out to looking at a job. What perks would what would be the perks? Like paid time off. Of course, we have dental and healthcare.
Well, I know that, but so like so, see, if I'm running this store and there's multi-stores across the country, I would have to go off what my boss would tell me to offer this person when they come or when they are working. So then, you know what I mean?
I think you're getting that, but I don't think you are. I don't think I'm also explaining myself either. But would it be more flexible work hours as opposed to I get paid time off?
I wouldn't pay for having time off.
Is there they have a great dental or medical plan? The 401k that looks a bit better. How would you
goddamn if I'm working? I know what you're saying,
which would be more important?
I know what you're saying, but you're saying retail. I'm not in retail.
No, just an example.
You know what I mean? I hired 3 guys last year. They were working for a farmer up near Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they moved down here with their families and everything else because we were doing. Well, our farm's bigger, but they got more perks and everything than what they had up there. You know, yeah, the seasons are different because they're further up north than what they are or by New Berlin, but everything's different. But also, it's just like, well, okay, fine, you're making this, you're doing this, this is what you're offered. You were here this long to get this, and you're here that long to get that. Yeah, you worked your ass off, but when like with my farms and stuff and everything else, you're getting what you worked to right off the bat. And that was the best thing. And see, they had the experience. So they came down and it's just like, okay, so I said, come down, try for a week, 2 weeks. And after that time, bam, they're like, yeah, we love this a lot better than up there. And it's pretty much, it's the same work, but also our seasons are different. So they get more time. They get more work hours. They get more do everything. You know,
What about someone without the experience?
Without the experience, it's totally different. They got, start, like say, well, like, okay, you got a little bit of experience and everything and all that, but you're going to be not making much, or you're going to be making money, but not as much as Delbert or Leroy or whatever. You're not going to be making as much as them, but you're close to, you're about half or a little over half what they're getting. But you got to get work to get to that.
Right, and the benefits.
Well, you're starting with benefits, no matter you already got.
So
benefits.
you have just that's a blanket benefit.
Yeah, I mean you already got health.
Go work for him, people. Go work for my brother. There he is.
When people come and they've worked, and my dad, he's had employees, and with my farm after I retired from the military. It's been like that since my granddad had it and my great granddad had it. You get benefits the first day you step on the property and you start working. You get it because farming. I said, oh, well, it's not the bullshit. You can lose a finger. My cousin lost his arm last year working on an auger. So, you get it right off the bat because you never know what something like that could happen in that field.
Yeah, that's hard work too, being a farmer.
And another thing is, like, we've got horses and cattle. So you're working in that. So you could, well, of course, we don't have quarter horses. We have the Percherons and draft horses.
No, you're doing a little bit both there. You're farming and ranching a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got that. I mean, how you going out and cutting hay and everything and straw and that's why I told him.
It's great that you had the blanket benefits, but here's the other question. This is what I was really getting into: is how much is that going to cost someone out of their check, though?
Okay, let me put it this way. I guess you can call it dumbing down. If he came to work for me this coming Monday morning, and this is the honest God's truth. Of course, I offered. He's got their shit going. He turned it down, which is fine. But if he came to work for me Monday morning, he had to be there at 5:30, 6 o'clock. You come and you work. You got nothing insurance-wise is coming out of your check. No medical. No, I mean the only thing that comes out of your check medical would be eyes and teeth. That's the only. I mean, anything else, it's covered. But if he came to work with me, we pay every week. You start on Monday, you get paid on Friday. And it depends on what you're at. Like if you're in our field subsidies, or we're making corn oil or bean oil, or if you're working with cattle and horses, depends on which section at the farm you're at. But the base range pay is $1,200 to $2,800 a week. You get paid every fucking week.
And out of that, I'm probably going to pay about $50 for my benefit.
No, you're paying close to $180 out of your medical benefit for your teeth and eyes. So every week it gets taken out every week. But that's, you got all that, and another thing is people say, oh, well, that's really good, and they come working and they can't do it. They quit after the first week because you're working anywhere.
Well, that's hard on the body.
Yes, and you're working 63 to 80 hours. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a 40-hour week, whatever. You got all this, but son of a bitch, you're working this whole fucking time. And yeah, you get lunch, you get paid lunch and everything, but you're working. There might be a day and a half out of the week to where you have 2 hours where you're kind of sitting. That's about it. But you're always on the move. You're always, well, we got this straw to take over here. We got this hay to take to Nortonville. Well, we got to go to Scottville. We got, or your transfer. And another thing is you got to have a hazmat.
Right.
To haul the propane and then hydrous and propane. Because we're always moving some from this tank and it has to go to Jacksonville, or from this tank and you got to go all the way down to Meridosha.
So I'm going to pause there real quick. Now I know what you guys are listening to them. You're probably thinking, well, that sounds easy, right? Just move this over to here. Okay. How much is just a bundle of hay? How much does that weigh?
Well, you're looking at, well, we got 40-foot goosenecks. You're looking at about 35 to 37,000 pounds.
Just one bundle, though.
Oh, one bundle.
Just one bundle. How much does that one bundle weigh?
You're talking about the squares, or you're talking about the round bales?
Squares. We're not going to go around.
Just the squares.
Just the squares.
Anywhere from 65 to 72 pounds.
All right. And you're usually, how much can your gooseneck trailer hold? How many squares?
Squares, close to 70.
All right. And they weigh 40, you said, each? So that's 40 pounds. All right. in it, and you got to lift 70 of the
No,
fuckers.
well, see, I mean, you have to stack it on the pallet, and then you load it with your loader. Your end loader.
Here's what I'm getting at. You guys hear him say all you got to do is move the product. Oh, that sounds easy. Yeah. 40 pounds, 70 apiece. Now, you think real hard before you go and work. Can you do that? You better make sure you fucking can. Because if you're going in there just because you've been hearing my brother go, yeah, the benefits there and the pay's there, sounds great. Well, he ain't going to hire you and bring you on just for you to go one fucking bill and go, or two more and go, well, I'm out. No, that was way too much
and
work.
See, you gotta wire it,
Mm-hmm.
and then stack it on it, and then load it with your end loader. But you gotta do all that before you even load it with the end loader. You know, like the cattle we feed out by Woodson, son of a bitch, we got a shed there that has it in it, but we have to haul it there.
Right.
And you have to unload it, and then you got to take it off the pallet, and then you got to stack it up in the loft, and then the lower loft, and off to the side, because when we bring the round bales in, yeah, you can carry it in there with the tractor. I mean, 5 guys ain't gonna lift that round bale.
So it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of manual work. So I was straight up and honest with bro. I was like, I can tell you right now, my body cannot handle it. That's me being honest, and I would appreciate anyone that goes up to brother would be that honest. You either can do it, don't waste his fucking time, because that's going to piss me off.
Because I have personal friends that live here, and they want extra work, and they'll come out and help 1-2 days a week. But they can't do it full time. And a lot of them grew up on a farm, but they've been off the farm because they cash rent everything, and they have other people do it now. But it's just like, goddamn, I haven't done this in 20 years, and they're hurting. And they still got to go to work and everything else, and like my back or leg or hip or whatever. You just got to keep going, you know. Like with me, like I say, well, I'm retired from the military, and I can do, but I still got to do some of the work, but whatever. But if I quit and kind of lax back, fuck, that's gonna hurt me more in the long run than it is in the short run.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't. With me, I can't. You know, like with me, I can haul my grain. I can go out in the combine and tractor and plant and all that stuff. But if I just do, it still hurts my back. But also, like our seeds in the bulk tanks, and they got loaded into our planters and stuff now. There's still work involved. But if I just sit back, okay, I'm just going to drive the truck, and I go do that, let's say I drive the truck full time, just to haul grain. That's going to do more on my body after doing everything I did, and I just drive a truck. That's work, and then I go back to do that, like my uncle. That's what he said. You know, he said, I'm just going to drive the truck, just haul grain, and you guys load the hay and the straw and everything. I'll just deliver it. He did that for 5 years. Now he's got to have hip and back surgery because he sat in the truck too long, and all that hard work he did before sat too long. And then he tried to go back. He said, you know, I want to get back to doing this. He can. He barely moves around now. When he gets up out of his truck, his pickup truck, and he goes even into the gas station, it's hard on him because he said his joints is tightened up and just froze up. And
for those of you that are watching, and if you're from the city, props to you. That's all fine. But you go in and you pay a membership to the gym. Let me tell you something. How would you like to get paid for your workout? You are near farmland all the time. Go and see if a farmer is hiring. Go work out and get paid for it.
There's a lot of people that are in gyms and stuff, and that's good. That's great. You get your exercise and everything else. But if that's what you're used to, do it. But then also, yeah, I got a little bit of a gut on. Of course, I retired, so but goddamn, I don't have to go to a gym. Why do I need? I'm lifting all this shit every day, and I can go to the gym, do the same thing, but I'm not gonna go pay them $10 a month or whatever it is.
Right.
You know.
Not only that, you're also doing good for the community too. You're working out, and then we're getting fed.
Another thing is, I bought a 60/30 here a couple weeks ago, and my brother hauled it home, and it has duals. Now these tires are 40/28s, which I'm 5'6". These tires are close to 6'9" foot tall. And the rims, just the rims inside the tire, weigh close to 400 pounds. Then you got the tire. There's another couple, almost 250, with no air in it. They didn't have any fluid in them. Of course, they said, "Well, it's fluid." Well, if you put beet juice in it, that's bigger fluid or calcium they put in it. But anyway, my brother unloaded it next door at the chemical plant, brought her home. Yeah, we had to bring tires over by forklift. But as soon as I got them in my drive, with everything else I have sitting around, we had to move them by hand.
Yeah.
They're not fucking light. You want, I go to the gym and I'm lifting 280 pounds and all this, or doing this with one. That's good. Lift one of them fucking tires, move it around. You're moving fucking almost 1,200 pounds, if not 11. Moving that tire around, and then you got to move it to a shed that's 2,000 feet away, and you got to move them tires, no air, nothing in them. That's a fucking workout.
So think about that, guys. You're paying for a membership to a gym. That's all fine, dandy. But you want to get a good workout?
There's gyms that have bought used tractor tires off me, because that's what they do. You know, they flip them and all that shit. They bought them off of me because that's what, you can take as many as you want. Last April, I had 28 old used tractor tires out there, and 6 gyms bought them off me from Springfield, because that's what they do. They flip them tires, to build muscle and everything. I said, you can take as many as you want. How much you want for them? They took them all. The gym there in Waverly, they bought several off of me, and they buy my semi-truck tires. So it's what you do. But goddamn, yeah, you move with forklift. But let's say you have a bunch of stuff sitting around on my farm, like on my farm. You have everything sitting around. You can still move it, but the only way you can get to where the forklift or the skid steer can get to,
that's what we done. You gotta move it.
You gotta wedge it. You gotta wedge it and move it to where you can get a good grip on it. Otherwise, now you're knocking shit over, making a mess, and everything else.
Right.
So, but like I said, people, gym work, go to gym or need a job, whatever. If you just want to fucking do something light and easy out of your life, that's what you want to do. But goddamn, you got to get out there, And I'm just so sick and tired of people saying, "Oh, I can't find work. Oh, I don't want to work in food." Well, motherfucker, the only way you're gonna get anything, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's in fast food,
you can't think you're too good for a job.
Yeah, if it's in fast food, or if it's a maintenance worker at a hospital doing garbage or mopping or whatever. There's people that have been at Walmart for 20, 30, 40 years. They had to start out doing garbage and sweeping floors and going out and getting carts and whatever. And they worked themselves up. A lot of people say, "Well, I don't want to work for Walmart." But Walmart is one of the better companies to work for, that big of a company. That's one of the biggest places, the best places you, because in the long run,
it has its downfalls.
Yeah, but I mean, you have your ups and downs, your perks, and all that shit. But you have to work for it. You just can't be handed to it. Well, unless you're like Davis or something.
Right.
But anyway, you got to work for it, And you just can't just go walk in somewhere and expect this right away. Hello, why should I get you this when this person over here has been here 22 years? That ain't right. That's not treating people right. You gotta be fair. You gotta, Now, if you work somewhere else for 5 years and you went to Walmart, yeah, they'd work with you, on pay grade and everything. They work with you.
Yeah, I mean, work experience always counts.
Yeah. So, but you just can't go in right away and expect it,
But in true typical Rant and Rave fashion here, I do have one.
I'm sorry, I went on. I'm sorry.
You're good. Yeah, one Rant and Rave topic that we will hit on. It's been requested. As I posted my 4th of July video, I wasn't going to hit on it because there was a good...
Roe versus Wade.
We were going back with the military, but yes, Roe versus Wade, brother. Roe versus fucking Wade. I honestly think that the government did a great job. I really like what the Supreme Court did. I think it should be left up to the states. I don't agree with some of the Republican views, leaving incest and rape out of it, but,
that's a different topic for another day. Let me tell you, you better start this rant and rave about 6 o'clock in the morning and quit about midnight.
I do believe that through rape and incest, I think that we can consider abortions in Republican states. But as far as what the Supreme Court did, I think it's just fine.
But, like I told him, he can do however. But everybody's views are different, and I understand that. So I don't judge people or take it personally. So, well, actually, a lot of it I do, but I keep my mouth shut. But I fought for this country, and everybody's views are different. It's the best. It ain't the best. It's in the whatever. But I fought for this country for a lot of years, and so has a lot of my brothers, uh, my personal brother, and sisters and family, friends as well. Um, the government, the United States government, always doesn't do the best. You know what I mean? So, like Roe versus Wade, it's not the best, but there was give and take. But I fought for this country, and there needs to be a government because if there wasn't a government, we we wouldn't even be a country in 2022. A lot of people, oh, well, we